Okay, we're going to be talking about mean absolute deviation, or as I will call it throughout the video, MAD. Notice where I got this, M-A-D, mean absolute deviation. And the little MAD guy makes you remember. Okay, mean, we talked about a little bit in class. It is the average, and how we find average is we add all the numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. Absolute, which is like absolute value. It is how far something is from 0. Okay, so like absolute value is how far an integer is from 0. This is how far a number is from the mean. It's always going to be positive. So if you want to put a little plus sign by it, so you remember, absolute always means it's positive, and then deviation is how far away. If I say you had to deviate from your trip, it's you had to go a different way and you had to see how far. It's kind of like detour. Okay. So, the mean absolute deviation is used to find the average distance from the mean. So this is mean absolute, and yes, I want you to write it this time. After that, I will let you write MAD. And yes, I know these spaces are small, but try your absolute best to fit it in. Okay, so mean absolute deviation. Yes, notice how I started having to swerve up. You will too. Okay, step 1. You have to find the mean of your data by adding all the numbers. So adding the numbers, I'm just going to abbreviate numbers, and then dividing. The numbers. That is just average. All we ask you to do is find the average. You've done this for a while now. Now you have to go the second part. Find the difference of each value from its mean, or from the mean. Mean again is average. I want you to write that down so you know what mean is, and it is the difference. So difference means what operation? If you're yelling at me in the computer and saying subtraction, you're right. Difference just means you need to subtract. So far we know we're going to add, divide, subtract. Those are the operations we've done so far. Okay, now find the mean of those distances that you did in step 2. And this sounds a little confusing, but once we do it, you'll go, oh, I know what you're talking about. So it is 3 steps to solve this. This is pretty easy, especially with a calculator. It just is a little time consuming. So we're going to say here, calculate the MAD, or mean absolute deviation, for the following heights. These are the heights. I've already been really nice and put a nice little table for you. When we do any kind of MAD problem, I'm going to have you do this table. So I was nice and made it for you. From here on out, you're going to have to make it yourself. But I wanted to start you off right. So you just write each number in the spaces. So I take 60, it's the first number, 58, 54, 56, 53, or 63, 65, 62, 59, 56, and 58. Notice they all should fill up. I gave you exactly the right amount. So now we're going to do the first step. We're going to find the mean of these numbers. Well, how do you find the mean is, and I apologize if it's hard to read my calculator, but you're going to add up all the numbers. So 60 plus 58 plus 54, 56, 63 plus 65 plus 62 plus 59 plus 56 plus 58. Add them all up and you should get 591, but we're not done, because to find an average, then you have to divide by how many numbers there are. Well, you count up how many numbers there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. and you're going to divide by 10. And so this is the mean. Now, I'm going to make it one step easier. You have a calculator, and I'm going to even make it easier. All right, if there are no decimals in the numbers you're dealing with, which is not the case here, see on this, you'll have decimals, and here you'll have decimals. But there are no decimals here. So I'm going to let you have whole numbers in your mean. So your mean, we're going to say is 59, because the one, when we rounded, it would be 59. So the mean rounded is 59. And that is, now, if you have a highlighter or a pencil, I want you to make that box important, because we're going to be using that number, that mean, from here on out pretty much. So it said the next step, the difference, subtract each value from the mean. So I'm going to take each individual number and subtract it from 59. And like I said, they're always positive. So this first one's pretty easy. 60 minus, because that's what difference means, 59, you get 1. That one's easy. So we're just going to write 1 in this blank. But then we're going to keep going. 59 to minus 58. Let's try that one in our calculator. 58 minus 59. Look, it's a negative number. Absolute value, there are no negatives. So ignore the negative sign and just press 1. It's just 1. It's just 1 away. It still just takes one step to get to 59. So I want you to subtract all of these this way. And again, all numbers, they need to be negative, or that are negative need to be positive. Sorry. And I just want you to subtract. And I know some of these you can do in your head. Like that one's 3. This one is 4. 6. This one is the same as this one, so you don't have to do that calculation again. This one is the same as that one. Don't do that calculation again. 59 is 59, so it's 0 away. So let's do our last one, 62 minus 59, and you're with me. So there is your numbers. So the last step, it says to find the mean, or the average of the distances. So we take these numbers and we have to average these numbers. So we're ignoring this row and we're just averaging this. So you go 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1. And you get 27, but then you have to divide by 10. And the mean average is 2.7. So your math score, that is your answer, is 2.7. So you have to look at this number and say, are these numbers that far off? 2.7. Are they about, they're only about 3 apart. So this is a very good way to show the mean, is a very good way to describe this data. So this is the MAD that I'll be looking for. Okay, tomorrow you're going to come in, after you do your daily drive later, you're going to start working on this. Follow your rules, look at your example. If you need to rewatch this video, that's perfect. This should be glued into your journal. We did it in class. And we'll watch our Powtoon and get started. All right, have a good day.